keep encouraging them. You know, whatever the mouth says to these young people matters a lot, and it's what creates them. So I believe in the power of the tongue. What you speak to these young people, it really helps them, or it makes them who they are when they grow up. I don't know if you've read the book The Secret. The Secret talks about how people proclaim so many things by what they say. Unajua, you're like, ai, sasa natoka hapa sasa na usiku. What if I get an accident along? You know, it's in your mind. Utaipata, because that is what you're attracting. You keep attracting that. So it's the same thing with anybody who's surrounding our kids. Let whatever they say be very positive. Speak positivity to your kids. And as 1 + 1, you're like, you know what? I always knew you're a genius. That kid is going to be a genius. Next time, unamwambia 2 + 2 4, you're like, what? I knew it. You're going somewhere. You know, keep encouraging them. But ukianza kuambia, ay, sasa ni nini hiyo? Unapata tu watu wako discouraged. And I don't know if to say this, but it's the same thing about boy child. You know, boy child, ashughulikiwi. You know, everything is girl child. Girl child empowerment. Unapata when it comes to the millennial boy child, they are laid back. They're like, you do your thing. Because nobody concentrated so much on the boy child. Reason being, the girls were empowered. Everybody was told, girl power, girls empowerment, women can be, nini, tukanda Belgian. Was it Belgian?
Yeah.
So, nini, equality, you know, like, and then you remember, don't forget that it's not only us guys, women, who are hearing it. We are planting it on men as well. The men are hearing it that the girl child is empowered. So you're like, oh, okay. Next, this girl is working in a bank. Then wherever bado you're struggling, you're like, oh, okay. So let me tell you, it was a very hard decision first for me to allow Rika to be on social media. But I knew she needed to because of how where she's going and the kind of things she's doing. And that's why I agreed for her to get on TikTok and stuff. Now, does it mean she's on TikTok? No, because I run the account. I choose what she sees, if she has to read any comments, I choose what she has access to. Yeah. Nowadays, where we are at, imefika mahali, I'm giving her access to some mean comments for her to see the way the world is. You know, because everybody's always like, oh, we love you, oh, you know. But I like, when I see like a mean comment, I let her see it so she knows that some people are actually evil. So I've been trying to learn how to prepare her to the kind of mean world we live in, to the kind of trolling world we're living in. Not at hardly, like, yo, you know, there's this thing. No, I just let her be pole pole. Now, the greatest challenge, even for me, is not even about trolls, is pedophiles. There are so many pedals in social media, it's crazy. And in Kenya, there are so many. And you know, we are ignorant. You know why? Because Jesse, you'll see me post a beautiful picture of my 8-year-old and you're like, ooh, sexy. Right? Do you know what's that? What's going on through your mind? So I've been taking time to read those comments and look at individuals who post that, just to understand that Kenya, we've welcomed pedophiles and made them feel like they're part of us, like it's a norm. We are so much against LGBTQ, but for pedophiles is nothing. Enda huko ushago, utapata kama mshushu mali kameketi unapita kanasema, hey, wewe, you know, because kutoka wa shushu wetu, kids, kuambia, sexualize kids or whatever, it's never a big deal. It's never been a problem. And that's why utasikia huyu amerape mtoto, umeona kwa news leo. Was it a 9-year-old? Yeah. Akaekwa jela. Is it for 2 years? Yeah. Akatoka. What did he do again? He raped the same kid again. You know, why would a rapist be allowed to go back to the society? Someone who's raped a 9-year-old, a kid. Why? Because I'm not saying we're okay with it, but it's because we are not serious about it. The government does not take these stories of pedophiles really serious. It's not a big deal. Let's impeach Rigathi. So every time I look at these things and I'm like, probably one day I should take it upon myself to get the contacts of these people who do such comments and then maybe go to DCI and say, okay, here, these are pedophiles. What are you going to do with them? Unfortunately, the other day I was seated in a social place and we had some big people there and we were talking about children's rights and you know what these pedophiles can be done for. Apparently, there's nothing very strong that can protect them in the Kenyan government. Did you know that? One thing I can say is that some parents have called me and told me, Piera, get your child off social media. I'm like, why? That place is full of pedophiles. I'm like, pick up your damn phone, call that pedophile and tell them the same. My child does not have a problem. The pedophile has a problem. Change that mindset. Ukiona mtoto wangu ameangiliwa na pedophile, why are you coming to tell my child to run? You get that pedophile, mpeleke police station. If it's your child, mwenye umesikia amesema, nyash, huyo mtoto wako discipline that child. Don't tell my child, don't wear tight pants. You know what I mean? Let's not justify the wrong. It's the same thing as rape. When people look at rape and say, but that chick was wearing a short skirt. You know, she didn't deserve to be raped. The problem is not the chick who's wearing the short skirt. The problem is the rapist. The same thing with pedophiles. The kids are not a problem. The kids cannot be limited to not being on social media because there's a pedophile there waiting for them. No, do the way the states do. Have you seen the states the way they set them up? Mnaka katoto hapo, next time that pedophile is chatting with the kid. Mnachat seo juu na chat na nani? FBI unakujia tu. If that was done in Kenya 2, 3, 4 times, I'm telling you no one atafungwa mdomo. Wakenya ni waoga sana. With law. So I feel the government needs to do a lot to be honest. These kids are in the streets. Umeona pale Lavington. But I'm so passionate about this thing, I'd go crazy. Kids, girls, small girls, they are jumping around there. I'm like, oh my God, these kids are not on social media. But do you know how many pedos are passing here every day in their cars? Ama wametembea, and they're looking at this kid and going like, do you know? But since there's no law, since there are no cops that will guard that, kesho unasikia a kid has been raped, pregnant, ule 13-year-old, na kameza. How did that happen? I have never denied the father's room to be there for his child. He's just never been there. I don't know if I say this, it will sound like namtetea, but I have no beef with him. I think this happened when he was not in a space to. And I'm not going to blame him. That's him. It's a him problem. But you know, anyway, that is what he went through. As much as he got somewhere and he was able to be a father to somebody else and, you know, and still gave his all to the other side, it is okay. Probably was not ready to be
a father
to Rika or to
be
me, to be my husband, or to be family with us. And let me tell you, that is very okay. Because even I wouldn't want to be forced to be with somebody. You know what I mean? You might be okay to date somebody but not have children with them. And that is totally understandable. To be honest, I don't like pointing fingers at anybody because I'm not holy. I don't know what I would have done if I was in a situation. But when I see somebody not emotionally be there for their children, it is weird. But I'm not blaming them. There's a reason why they've chosen to be like that. Me and the dad are very good friends. Not very good friends. Okay, we are friends, right? I would have taken him to court and said, you know, you need to provide by force, nini. But as I always say, why? What for? If court was to make a person love their children, then I would go. But I wouldn't force somebody to remove money for my child. Why? What I mean is, imagine me coming to tell you, if you're the father of Rika, please pay school fees. You really mean you don't know that you're supposed to be paying school fees? Then I tell you I'm going to call cops on you. Where there's really beef. You know, you want the child, I want the child. You know, but we don't want each other. And then probably start frustrating you by telling you, no, you can't have. You're like, but I want my children. So you saying, okay, you take them and go is not a good thing. It's not a solution. Now then, I feel, then go to court. Let court decide 3 days, you have the child, 3 days you have. That is fine. But the other scenario I was telling you is like me, where a man has decided, oh, nimekweka mimba. You see that one, and you're there, umeisha, kimekuramba. What do? So me, I go back to him and tell him, umeniweka mimba, kuja ulipe school fees. I never ever saw myself as a single parent. Never. Me, I'm this person who believes in love. Or rather believed in love. Me, I love. But let me tell you, I'm not going to compromise myself just to prove a point to people. Me, I know the kind of love I'm looking for. And if I don't get that, imagine there are many men, but until a man speaks to my soul, then he's not the one. And I'll know. Can you just be faithful? Nowadays, it's so hard for men to be faithful.
No.
For people in relationships to be faithful. You know what? Me, I'd rather not make a vow. Right now, me, I think marriage is my problem. Getting in marriage, one, to prove to people that I can be married, I'm married. And then, bro, here you're going through a lot of shit and I'm going through whatever and I start cheating and you start cheating and